Good morning, Nada. Good to see you. So today we're going to talk about absolute value equation and also inequality. We think about absolute value right now. Think about it as a distance from zero. All right. So, for example, absolute value of 3 or absolute value of -3. These two numbers, they are 3 units away from 0. So both of them, the absolute value here will be equal to 3. Think about absolute value as the distance from 0. The absolute value of 0 is equal to 0. Okay, that's equal to 0. 0 is 0 distance away from itself. Notice that absolute value is never negative. It cannot have an absolute value equal to a negative number because think about distance. Distance cannot be negative. Okay, now we're going to solve this absolute value equation. Absolute value of x equals 3. What does x equal to? So you think about what can I put in x?
It could be 3 or -3.
Got it. Okay, so both 3 and -3, they both have the absolute value equal to 3. So we have two solutions. So one is this, and then the other one x equal -3. And normally abbreviate this as x equal to positive or -3. So we'll do it this way. Okay, now absolute value of a equal to 0.01. So what would that be? What does x equal to? Anyone?
Negative or positive?
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Positive and negative 0.01. Okay. So A over here will be equal to positive or negative 0.01. Okay. All right. So you locate that two numbers. So what about absolute value of the 3x minus 2 equal to 5? Well, how can we solve for x? Okay. Now to solve for x here, you can regard this whole expression inside the absolute value. You think about what can this, if it's a single number, what can that represent? So what number, if you take absolute value, is going to equal to 5? What will be that number? Well, some of you will say, oh, it is 5 or -5, right? Both of them, the absolute value equal to 5. So you can put so this one over here could be 5 or -5, okay, if we represent a single number. So by doing this, you can actually break this down into two equations, okay? So you will have this 3x minus 2 here equal to 5. And then the other one, or 3x minus 2 equal to -5. So we break it down into two equations. So now we can remove the absolute value and then we break it into two separate equations. One have this expression equal to 5, the other one has that equal to -5.
The one
Now,
-1?
Yeah, so this one over here, you get x equal to -1. Yes, you solve this one. Okay, can you solve the other one here? This one, x equal to 7 over 3, right? Yes, 7 over 3. Okay, so solve them separately, you get two solutions. Now let's check this out. Okay, so check if we need a solution. So we're going to substitute this into this original equation into x. So 7 over 3 times 3 and then minus 2. So this is equal to 5. Well, this is going to be 7. So what I'm doing here is I'm substituting this into the x over here, into this original equation, and see if the equation is satisfied. So indeed, it is satisfied here. So check. Now the second one here, absolute value of 3 times -1 minus 2 is equal to 5. 3 times -1 is -3. -3 minus 2. So yeah, it's -5. The absolute value of -5, indeed, that's equal to 5. So check. So both of them are solution. So we have this. We have also this. So you can write down the solution set. Remember the set notation is this curly braces. And we have only two solutions. We have two solutions inside the set. Normally, you order them from small to big. So the number here, the smaller number here will be -1, and then separate that by comma, and then 7 over 3. Got it? Now, number 4. Number 4 is very similar. I usually give students time in class to try. After one example, we try that. Okay? So since we're a little bit pressed on time, so you can try that at home. So similar to number 3. Okay? For number 5, okay? Number 5 over here, the absolute value of this equal to -40. So is it possible? Okay, notice that
No.
this yes, go ahead.
No, it's not impossible.
Okay, so that's not possible because you're having this absolute value here equal to this negative number. Remember, absolute value over here, it is never negative, right? So it's impossible. So the answer here will be no solution. So the solution set will be the empty set, a zero with a slash, like an empty basket. Okay. Are you guys good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So when you have absolute value equal to a negative number, so automatically you have this no solution. Okay. So what about when the absolute value here is equal to zero? So what can we say about this inside? What number can that be?
Zero.
If it were zero, can only be zero. Okay. So zero is the only number that absolute value equal to zero. So we will have 10 minus x here will be equal to 0. So x will be equal to what? 10? Yeah, you got it. Okay. So x equal to 10. Okay. Now we actually have three cases. Absolute value equal to a negative number, no solution. Absolute value equal to 0. And then you have this expression inside equal to 0. And if absolute value equal to a positive number, like this one over here, then you will have this expression inside equal to either that positive number itself or equal to the opposite of that positive number. Okay, so we have these three cases. Okay, the next one over here, number 7. Now, for the problem we had done before, we need to isolate the absolute value and then we can open it up according to either equal to 0 or negative or a positive number, right? Now over here, this absolute value is not isolated yet. So let's go ahead and isolate this absolute value over here. I used to say that it's kind of like a absolute value bomb right here. We need to isolate that and move everyone else safely to the other side of the equation. So we need to isolate this absolute value right here. Now let's move this -4 safely to the other side equation. Okay, so in some country we talk about the moving way, which is the same as over here as adding 4 to both sides. When you add 4 to both sides, you see that this -4 get cancelled, and it looks like the -4 move to the other side become adding 4 on the other side. So I'm talking about moving, right? So move -4 and then become +4 on the other side. Okay, so when we do that, then this absolute value over here is isolated, 2x plus 3, and that's equal to, what's on the other side?
9.
Okay. Yeah, it's equal to 9, which is equal to a positive number. So you can remove the absolute value and break it into two separate equations. Okay, so think about on the number 9. So here is 0. 9 and -9 both have the absolute value equal to 9, right? So now we have two equations. So 2x plus 3 equal to 2x plus 3 equal to, so what should I put over here? 2x plus 3 equal to
9.
9, and then the other one?
-9.
-9. You got it. Okay. 9 and -9. Now go ahead and solve these two equations separately and tell me what you get.
For the first one, x equals 3.
You got it. Okay,
The
good.
second one, x equals -6.
X equal to 3. And the other one, x equal to what?
-6.
-6. You got it. Okay. The second one here, you subtract 3 on both sides. Then you will get 2x equal to -12. Divide both sides by 2. X equal to -6. So you got it. So the solution set will consist of two numbers. Let's put the smaller number first, which is -6. The other one is 3. Separate them by comma. You guys good? All right, so number 8. Now this one over here, again, we need to isolate this absolute value over here. So how can I isolate this? It's like before, right? We need to subtract 4 on both sides, right? Subtract 4 on both sides. So we have this absolute value over here. That's equal to this positive number 6. Now you can break it into two separate equations, right? So what are the two separate equations? One is this expression equal to what? 6. Yeah, so one is 6. The other one is negative 6. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Now we're going to solve it. Now to solve it, what I'm going to do here is there are different ways to do it. You can get rid of the fraction first, or you can isolate this term that has x. So I'm going to isolate this term over here that has x over here. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Then we get 2 over 3x equal to 3. Now what? So since I want this coefficient for x over here be 1, do you think I can multiply this 2 over 3 here to get a 1?
3. 3 over 2.
3 over 2, you got it. 3 over 2. So we're going to times 3 over 2 on both sides. That way, I will have an x over here. The other side, I have 9 over 2. Solve it this way. We're going to do it similar to the other one. Subtract 3 on both sides. So you get 2 over 3x equal to negative 9. Now we times the reciprocal of 2 over 3, which is 3 over 2. So that will become, this coefficient for x will become 1. Don't forget to do that to the other side, okay? So times 3 over 2 over here. So x is equal to negative, what's the number here? 27 over 2. Yes, we got it. So the solution set will consist of these two numbers. The smaller number here, it is negative 27 over 2. The bigger number is 9 over 2. You got it? Okay. Now let's think about number 9. So what should I do over here? What's the first step?
I would want to add 4.
Yes,
Get
you
rid
got
of
it.
number negative 4.
Yes, you add 4 to both sides.
Correct.
Yes, you got it. Okay. So we want to isolate this absolute value right here. So we need to move the negative 4 safely to the other side. So we add 4 to both sides. So we have 3 times the absolute value of 1/2 x minus 5 equal to 0. Now what?
Divide by 3.
Divide both sides by 3. Yes, you got it. So we're going to divide both sides by 3. So remember this 3 here divide out. 0 divided by 3 is equal to 0. Okay, you get nothing. Divide among 3 people, everybody get nothing. Okay, so now it's the case that this absolute value equal to 0. So the only possibility is the expression inside over here will be equal to 0. That's the only possibility. So we have 1/2 x minus 5 equal to 0, which is 1/2 x equal to 5. So what does x equal to? 10. Yes, we got it. So x equal to 10. So in this case, we have only one solution. Now, number 10. Number 10, let f of x equal to the absolute value of x plus 4. Why? What values of x is f of x equal to 20? Now, remember, f of x, okay, do you guys remember? F of x, sometimes you can think about as y. It's kind of interchangeable. It stands for the output of the function. So it is not x. F of x is, think about like y. It's not x, okay? So what do I have over here? I have this f of x over here is equal to 20. And so therefore, this f of x, this whole thing here, is going to be replaced by 20. That's equal to 20. And that's equal to the absolute value of x plus 4. And what are they looking for? They're looking for what value of x that this is true. So we're going to solve for x over here. So how do we solve for x?
60.
Yes, you break it into two separate equations, remember, right? So what are the two separate equations? One is x plus 4 equal to, the other one, x plus 4 equal to what number?
Negative 20.
Yes,
20.
okay, so negative 20. The other one is 20. Now, solving this one, subtract 4 on both sides. X equal negative 24. Subtract 4 on both sides. X equals 16. So the answer here is 4x equal to negative 24 or 16. F of x will be equal to 20. Question? You guys good?
So you don't put it in brackets?
Oh, you need a solution set? You don't need to. Oh, I wrote the complete sentence here. They ask you for what value, so I just write this sentence to answer that. Depends what they ask. If they ask you for the solution set, then you put that in the curly braces, the set notation. Okay, now what about if you have absolute value equal to another absolute value here? So how can I solve it? Okay, so how can two absolute value equal? So we know absolute value of 5 is equal to absolute value of, okay, let's think about it. So if two numbers, they have the same absolute value, they will be either the same, so they might be the same, then they have the same absolute value, right? Or another possibility is they are opposite. So when they're opposite, then they also have the same absolute value, right? Think about on the number 9. So if you want it to be the same distance away from 0, then either it's going to be the same number or they're opposite. So there are the two possibilities here. So absolute value equal, then the inside here might be equal, or the inside over here might be opposite. All right. So now let's try to solve this absolute value equation. So let's think about the inside over here, this expression here, and this expression over here. They have the same absolute value, so two possibilities. They might be the same or they might be opposite. So if they're the same, I will have 5x plus 1 equal to 3x plus 2. Solving this, what does x equal to?
1/8.
1 half. You subtract 3x on both sides, right? So you get 2x, and then you subtract 1 from both sides, so you get 1. So x equal to 1 half. Okay. Now on the other side, if they're opposite, so we have, okay, let's think about how do you express opposite. Okay. So we will say 5x plus 1 equal to what? Equal to the opposite of this 3x plus 2, right? So how can I express opposite of 3x plus 2? Let's practice on this, okay? So if it's x, then opposite of x is what?
You just multiply everything by -1.
Yeah, so it is negative, right? So opposite of, say, a plus b, if it's opposite, then it is a negative sign in front, and then parenthesis, a plus b, right? Okay, so opposite of n quantity, then you just multiply by -1, which is the same as you having a negative sign in front, and then put that whole quantity in the parenthesis. So opposite of 3x plus 2, then you have this opposite sign right here. Think about this as the opposite side, and then you have this 3x plus 2 over here. 5x plus 1 equal to opposite of 3x plus 2. So that's what it stands for. Some of you might ask, how come you don't put the opposite side in front of this 5x plus 1? Well, you can also do it that way. You can say 3x plus 2 equal to opposite of parenthesis 5x plus 1. But that will be equivalent to this sum equation. So we just decided to choose one of them. So I say 5x plus 1 equal to opposite of 3x plus 2. And we got this equation. Okay. Now we just need to solve this. To solve this, we distribute. So we get 5x plus 1 equal to opposite of 3x. And then minus 2. And solving this, what does x equal to? So you add 3x from both sides. Then you get 8x. And then you subtract 1 on both sides, so you get -3 on this side. So x equal to -3 over 8. So you get two solutions. Now if you want, you can put them in bracket. So you have -3, 8, comma, and then 1 half. Okay, that's good?
Yes.
All right, great. Now remember, here opposite of 3x plus 2, and you just put the opposite side right here in front and put this quantity inside the parentheses, okay? That stands for opposite.